What's up, Go enthusiasts? Welcome to round 2 of the Nongshim Cup this year. Kudja won round 1 in an absolute thriller, insane game against Seoul Since he beat Korea's player, then next he plays against Japan's player. And if he beats Japan's player, next he'll play against Korea's player. As a knockout tournament, each team has the 5 players. So at most it can go to 14 rounds. All 14 players except the last one get knocked out. So Kudja, by winning game 1, he's gotten China a small lead in the sense that he has a chance to beat the Japanese player as well, and then it would be 5 players for China and 4 players for each of the other 2 countries. Well, let's see if Kudja can do it and secure a lead for China in the beginning rounds of this year's Nongshim Cup. He starts with these 2 4-4s. Hirose Yuichi, relatively young player from Japan, made his way onto the Nongshim Cup squad this year. And he starts with the 2-space high. So seems like there's some potential to make a wide moyo kind of style that doesn't always work so well against Kudja. So I'm happy to see that Black is flexible. He goes to the 3-3, he does some other thing as well. And he plays this 1-space jump, which Kudja ignores. Usually we think that this is ever so slightly good for Black, this shape. So most of the time, we see white play this Hane instead, and then after that you could ignore. But I think Kudja was probably thinking, if Black ignores this, then this attach is actually already pretty powerful. Which is true. This is always pretty annoying here. And Black plays the Hane outside and lets white steal away the corner like this and link up, and Black is just getting some influence and white is stealing away the corner. Black has to do some wedge. He has to do something very active, or else this result is just going to be good for white. So a fight is about to break out here. But the reason why that this happened is that it's very uncomfortable as well for Black to play the Hane inside, which is maybe the more natural first move that you'd look at. But unfortunately here, Black should protect his cut in the corner. Otherwise, white could steal away the corner, and that would be big. But when he does so, this stone is perfectly placed to save that other cutting stone. So that's why, in this position, after the approach, the attach is so popular. It's because it makes these 2 cuts, and one of them is just perfectly positioned for white to continue the fight. So therefore, Black chose a different method. He chose to take the influence, and this is also Joseki. But the influence is not really pointed towards a very valuable direction. White already has sort of a stone reducing that. So obviously Black wants to use this influence to fight, so he wedges and he makes a fight. And there's a few ways that this could go, but Kudja starts the most difficult fight. And to be honest, this quickly gets into the area where no human can really understand. When Black plays here, we have a capture race now. Neither the Black group on the left side nor the white group in the upper left corner can live. Neither of them will live for sure. And Kudja says, okay, I'm in a capture race. I could play patiently, like he could descend to the first line and try to save his stones. He could potentially actually make 2 eyes since he has this Atari. But if you'd have to use this Atari from the inside to live, it would give Black this great outside shape. So instead of making anything easy, he's probably thinking he has a skill advantage in this game, to be honest. Hirose Yuichi, although a good player, a very good player, he is not at the same world championship quality that Kudja is. So Kudja turns and he makes this capture race. And Hirose Yuichi chooses something that's a little bit bold here. He plays this Hane. That's very unnatural because you have a huge amount of eye space that you can change if you just played this capture. This is a very natural way to play. But after you do like that, white has this great Tetsuji that Kudja had lined up. And after that, then Black cannot ever live this group, even if he tries to attack it. There's going to be a ko shape here and a ko shape here, and you'll never get rid of both kos. So the game will continue with the left side being basically undecided, and players could fight the ko, but if they did, they wouldn't like directly capture the other or save themselves. So it would become a really complicated type of game. But maybe objectively, it should be a bit better than playing this Hane, which allows white to cover like this. And now white gets to use the resources in the corner that Black could have stolen those away. Now there's a lot of potential for white to make an eye in the corner and make this capture race really difficult for Black. So Black, to justify the Hane, he has to push in from this side. That's the only way the Hane could make sense, is if he thinks this, like, Black could have reduced the eye space from the corner, but instead reducing the eye space from the side, maybe that's better. At least Black is claiming that that's better. Kudja will obviously claim it's not better, right? So first he plays this peep. This peep is a good exchange in the case that white is about to die, which could very well happen. There's many situations where white could die here, because he's about to throw in and start a ko, like this. So Black had to start that ko, otherwise white would have a pretty easy time racing directly against this. When Black starts this ko, white doesn't want to connect, nor does white feel bad about having a ko like this with the potential to capture and live his group in the corner. So we get a situation, we get a ko, and the most important benefit to Kudja in this ko is that the other Joseki on the board, Kudja has a ko threat at q5, and he has a ko threat at e17. He has these two pushing through style ko threats that could split Black apart and really start a grand attack. On the other hand, Black has no ko threats that aren't local. So in the game, Kudja plays here. What he's saying is if Black would capture this 1 stone, he could recapture the Black 3 stones, so that's not a good idea. And when Black finishes like this, now this ko is getting more and more serious, since there is a potential to make another eye here. Kudja is really, really close to just living his group, which would obviously automatically kill the group of Blacks on the left. It's tough for Black, is genuinely tough. He takes this Atari because that's the only ko threat he has on the board. And he could have Atari'd from the inside to get more ko threats, but it wouldn't really help because white obviously is going to have more ko threats. So he recaptures this ko, but white just plays one of his ko threats, and to Black it looks doomed right now. So the solution that Hiroshi Yuichi came up with in the game was just to capture, allow the ko threat. Now Black managed to capture the whole upper left corner, white managed to capture the bottom left. And Black can continue to save his 2 stones on the bottom side. He can take some base. This trade is obviously good for white, because first of all, white managed to make this peeping exchange. That's really good in the case that he dies, like now in the ko. And second of all, even though Black managed to kill, you can see Black killed in a way which he had to spend 5 stones on the first line, even another one over here, right? He killed in a way where he was already pretty strong, even if he wouldn't kill. And the territory underneath that area is just so limited. I think in the end, if you counted this Black upper left corner, the stones themselves, there's 7 of them, so that's 7 points. Hooray, hooray, hooray. But like the actual points themselves, other than that, it's maybe 15. So in total, this is like a 25-point corner max. That's not worth it compared to white's big bottom left corner, and even white's massive amount of influence, and even white's potential attack on the bottom stones of Black over there. So it's not like Black did not know this. Black knew when he plays like this that he's losing the game. He just didn't see another way to play. But it turns out there was another way to play. Actually, when I was looking at this game with a friend, we both didn't see that way to play either, and only AI could show us. We had no idea where Black messed up when we were just analyzing humanly. And then we asked AI and figured it out. It turns out it was actually still fine all the way to here, even to this ko threat. You could answer that ko threat. And we were like, what? What do you mean answer this ko threat? White has another ko threat coming. Black has no ko threats. We're doomed, right? I mean, it seems like white's going to win the ko, kill this whole thing, start attacking us on the outside. It's like, it's horrible. Except when white plays here, Black can play this move, and it's very unthinkable because this doesn't look like a ko threat. You think I'm playing a ko, I should win it with a ko threat, but not only does it not look like a ko threat, it looks like it's ignoring the valuable area that the corner, when white manages to capture in the corner, white should be getting an eye and should be getting a lot of presence in the corner. However, you can see when Black took that move, not only does it deny the second eye, so white has some trouble because of that, but additionally it takes a white liberty away. So this result would continue to be a ko, and it's unclear exactly how it would continue. Probably Black, white doesn't need to play 60 here. White can play away, and then the game will be another complicated mess again. But this complicated mess is one where the corner is still unresolved for both sides, and it's not going to be easy to turn that in either player's favor. The idea that you could just deny the eye on the outside, let white capture, and just connect on the 1-3, that doesn't intuitively feel like it could be powerful. So that's why Hiroshi Yuji didn't even probably see it. At least I didn't see it. And my fellow Fox 9 Don friend, Ryudo, they didn't see it either. Nobody sees it. It looks very weird, but indeed that was powerful because both groups would be sort of alive and or fighting still, and that's a lot better than killing that group if you're going to die that bad. So from here, actually, this game was just a cleanup for Kaja. Kaja really did show his class, and he did not let this game be close for even a moment. He put pressure on this bottom side group. Black was like, well, if I defend that, I'm losing by 10 points on territory. So he tried to be active, but Kaja tried to attack back. And yeah, you can see Black has the right kind of idea for how to come back in a game like this. He's trying to get the territory back. He's trying to make White have some weaknesses, make it a little unclear how White can attack the bottom side. So maybe White would sort of fizzle an attack, let Black come back a bit. But White, this attach was a great move. Defending his own cut and applying pressure and limiting the right side and really not allowing Black to set up any good shapes. As long as Black was not efficient for the rest of the game, this game is over for Kaja. So when Black does this one, Kaja doesn't commit to anything. He just says, I'm going to make the good shape in the center, Hane on top, make a good shape in the center. And Black does this one, so Kaja just makes a good shape coming back. And he even uses this move. This is a special technique because the bottom right corner is not alive. So now White could be able to cut it and try to kill it later. That's why Black connected. He, in doing so, saved his group on the bottom right, but also made sure his 4 stones are much stronger. That's fine with Kaja. He can be as strong as he likes. The other group is going to be weak. And yeah, now Black has this huge problem to solve. White is not even behind on territory, and also Black is that weak. So how is Black supposed to catch up? He's just attached and extended and pushed here. And I'm sure he was hoping that White would Hane, that Black would get some chance to run out, show that he was actually strong, show that he could counterattack. But White very quickly gave up on the killing side of attacking and just took profit. And now you can see Kaja, not only is he playing very safely, he's even gaining all of this area is his new potential, and Black has only just taken a little bit of territory from here. I have no idea how Black was supposed to play higher class aggressive moves to try to make a comeback. I'm sure that if it was like AI playing, Kaja would not be this comfortable with like a 10-point lead after the opening. Like AI could make that back. But you have to play every move exactly correct, precisely. Black didn't quite do that for whatever reasons. And Kaja, any little tiny bit of slack that lets him be comfortable just a little bit, it's too much in a game where he already had such a massive advantage from the upper left corner. So the game continues, and Black sort of desperately peeps here. Obviously, this attach is really annoying because the bottom right corner is still not alive. And the right side group for White, that's also still not alive, but it has so many directions to run that it's not really killable. So when Black played this peep, he was hoping to make some kind of separation, make some kind of tactical sequence to get back into the game, but Kaja was really clear-minded here. He just Haned on this side, did not care for any of his stones on the right side, because if he can put pressure on the bottom right, force Black to defend that again, it's massive trouble. So Black managed to cut through this, but White connect under, and Black had to live that group. Now, even though Black managed to cut through, make a split shape in the center, you can see White saved his group on the right side with all the territory in Sente. It's not fair. So Kaja just plays this move. This is the same move that I would have played. The meaning is just there was a little bit of uncertainty back here. There's no uncertainty anywhere else on the board. So as long as White takes that cleanly, then again I can just draw the areas, and the areas are too big for White. Yeah, that's all Whites. That's all Whites. That's solid. And Black only has that and that. You can even tell that White is winning by a lot on the board without Komi, right? Not only that, but everything is solid too. So the game goes on a little bit because this is a team tournament. Players never resign. They don't want to resign early and let their team down when they had maybe a chance to win. But yeah, he resigns eventually. This game is not close. that was a thrashing by Koja. Absolute thrashing. It all comes from the sort of uncertain positions in the upper left. Koja viewed them as his weapon. Whenever both groups would be alive or kind of dead or and fighting, and then the game would go on and everything's confusing. Koja wanted that. Hiroshi Yuichi did not want that. And because of that, Koja managed to win. He managed to make that position where eventually Hiroshi Yuichi resolved it, and he resolved it negatively. It ended up in Koja's favor. Very, very well played. Excellent game, actually. And I'll see you all for the next one. Bye-bye.